Clap on. Clap off.
It's itchy.
Clap, sync, on, off. And there's the cold open for the podcast.
Yes, it is. This is the fun one.
Hi, and welcome to Half in the Bag Disc Golf, everybody. With me and Business Daddy, Joe's Disc Golf.
Yep.
Hold on, sorry. Not the right words. Business Daddy, Joe, the owner and front-facing face man,
yeah.
of Joe's Disc Golf.
That's a new nickname, the Face Man. Is it that?
Well,
is it that movie? No, that's Face Off with
that's Face
Nicolas Cage and John
Correct.
Travolta.
Yep. This is more akin to the scary dinosaur man.
I really want to know
our listeners,
how that logic came.
What? From that little girl?
Yes.
Or from my choices of mixing 1930s avant-garde existentialism, clown, and goth?
Yeah, I don't know how she got scary dinosaur man.
I don't know, but it
was awesome.
It worked.
It was amazing.
So for our viewers and listeners, I think we actually may have shared this story.
I think so.
Many podcast episodes ago, but the short version is I did just what I described, which is I decided to combine goth clothing aesthetics from like circa 2009, 2010.
Yeah, give or take.
And 1930s existential cloud makeup.
Yes. It was hilarious. And
it was all just to mess with people.
That was my girlfriend's niece, and she was like 5, 6, something like that.
I was gonna say 6, no more than 7.
Yeah.
She was pretty little.
Yeah, and she just sees him and goes, scary dinosaur man, and runs away, and we just start dying because we're like, I don't know what just happened. I'm dying looking at him, and then
Yeah.
that happens. We're all like, okay, all right, that's a thing. That's a thing. Okay. Yep.
I mean, without a beat, I remember your girlfriend's parents at the time were like, well, you clearly got Joe to crack up.
Yep.
This is clearly a bit, isn't it? I was like,
oh yeah,
I don't often dress like this.
Yes.
This was 100% just to get him to
yep.
to die laughing.
And yeah, her parents were like super sweet, older Italian family. Like, definitely, like, last name. If I ever said it, you'd be like, yep, that's Italian. And
oh yeah, I was asked if I had enough to eat and that I should eat more because at the
Yes.
time I still didn't have my dad bod.
Yep.
So
every time I went over there, she's like, you need to eat more. I was like, I'm eating plenty. You're too skinny. I'm like, no, I'm not. Have some wine too. Yes.
please, thank
yes.
you.
One glass, one bottle. What are we talking here? A cask? Okay.
A cask. It counts as one drink because it's one cask,
Yep.
right? And
just always drink in moderation. That imaginary place in your head. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've got a soundboard and I'm just totally around with it. And we've lost Ian. We're like 10 minutes. Are we 10 minutes in? We're 5 minutes in.
No, I was like, we're just at the beginning of the banter. in which, I'm sure anyone who's just joining us for the first time is like, so wait, what is this podcast about?
They have disc golf in the name.
They didn't actually get to the part where they described the disc golf, just the inside joke that started the episode.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Well, so that being said, I'm your one of your hosts. Unfortunately, our third short bus rider was not able to join us.
Our third window licker.
He's being responsible and hosting people at his.
Yeah, he's not with us.
So
he's with friends.
Yes. But I hail from the land of Chicago, and
the land of the stinky
I am drinking and goose poop. So much goose poop. You're like, hey, let's go disc golfing, but also be prepared. You will just be covered in goose poop.
Also,
anyway.
Bring a thing of Clorox wipes because there's a lot of goose poop.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm tonight. I am not hitting the sauce. I am drinking thoroughly disappointing decaf coffee.
Yep.
Because I wanted some coffee. I thought this would be good. I think I forgot how long that decaf coffee's been sitting inside of our cupboard.
Yeah.
It's not rancid. It's just
not
it's
fresh.
Dunkin', and it's not good.
Yeah. So what Broadway show mug are you drinking from there?
This is from the Paramount Theater.
Ooh.
Their 2014-2015 year, where they did Cats, Tommy, Mary Poppins, Les Mis. Yeah, that's when they had the shorter season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was believe it or not, just after my accident.
Yeah. I remember coming into town after that.
And I was real comfy on painkillers.
You were high as a kite.
Oh boy. Yep. Tried to play Gears of War with you a couple of times and fell asleep at the controller.
It was awesome.
Real hard.
It was awesome because all of a sudden I was like, well, looks like I'm trying to play Horde by myself now.
I remember being, okay, now to bring this back to disc golf.
Yeah.
Here we go. Doing it. Segue.
Yeah.
I do remember a discussion we had one evening towards the beginning of it when I was still on the really good painkillers. We were trying to play Gears of War, and I was like, oh, man, like, maybe if I could just get them to, like, install some, like, Teflon pads on my bones, I'll be able to have an awesome, throw for disc golf, because I'll just twist my leg. It'll be fine. It won't rip my muscles or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
Exactly.
It's like, just leave the rod in there, install some Teflon.
It'll be fine.
I'll spin on that. It'll be fine. It's great.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
And then you were like, yeah, that's not how physics works. And I was like, yeah, but I'm high, so it definitely works that way right now.
Don't make me call Sis. Resident physics teacher.
Oh, yeah, no. Painkiller fresh off the accident, and also back when I was disc golfing, like, I mean, at that point, like,
you're going multiple times a week.
It was like, basically I'd get home from work and I'd play 2 to 3 rounds, depending on the course.
Yep.
Because I didn't have a child. I was trying not to spend money because I was also working on a theater budget.
Yeah.
So it's like,
no, I get you.
I'll just go disc golfing.
Before I had a child, I was going out playing around basically every day before work. Because my job, it's not second shift, but it's not first shift. The best part is...
Well, no, you're athletics,
Yeah.
so it's that weird, like, 2-3?
Yeah,
kinda?
but you got to get there early enough, but yeah. Anyway, the best part was, like, courses were basically wide open.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best part. Like, I can just play 18, no problem. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, well, the theater schedule was the same. Like, if I had evening shows, then I would just go at, like, 9:30 on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's no one there.
Yep.
Even during the summer, you usually, like, I don't know, what, 11-ish was when people usually started showing up?
Yeah, give or take.
For the disc golf course?
Depends on which course.
It was like 10:30, 11?
Like, there's more subdivisions and more kids can easily get there. Some of the courses where I'm at, yeah, if parents can't drive them there, there's no, like, safe way to get there.
Do children do safe things, though?
Yeah. There's some really busy roads, though. It's like trying to cross Route 83 over at, like, 55th.
That's when you just throw out that thumb and just get the ride to the park. That's fine, right?
Get the electric thumb. I just started listening to for the first time because my library, I can rent audiobooks for free, and I drive a lot. And so I've run out of podcasts to listen to that I like. There's a finite amount of time. So I've been listening to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the Ultimate Collection, or whatever. I forget what they call it, with all 5 books in the trilogy.
Yes, the misappropriately named Hitchhiker's Trilogy. Yes.
And it's read by Stephen Fry. So it's good. It's funny.
Nice.
I mean, I've read the book.
You know what?
It's funny. I love the book. But, like, listening to him say it, even better. The movie, crap.
I'm sure.
Like,
I mean, for what it is, it was fine.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not.
They just, like,
it's not quite.
I don't know if this is one of those books that you can really do as a movie without making it.
Yes and no. I don't. I mean, the BBC miniseries.
Yeah,
that was just amazing.
That was I will say I did like. Oh shoot, what's his name? He did the robot. He did the voice of the robot.
Oh, of Marvin.
Yeah. Snape.
Are you talking the BBC?
No.
Oh yeah, in the movie, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yes, he did a good. Like, I thought his voice and the way he could just sound even more like the way his voice is. It was perfect.
I mean, his role in Galaxy Quest was also
it was amazing.
Just top notch.
Such a good movie too. I guess we could talk about disc golf stuff. It's
so disc golf. I was like, I believe we've hit our banter quota.
I think so. We're over 10 minutes, so we're good.
Okay, shut up, Microsoft. You better not have disrupted.
So far, so good.
Audacity.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no, we seem to still be fine.
We're good.
Well, it just decided to pop up and was like, "Hey, we've scanned your computer," and I was like, "I didn't tell you to do that."
I know. I've been. It's been a wild ride. I've been working on for months, but now recently, since tournaments have started up for the last 2 weeks, been going hard at coming up with this prediction software program using machine learning and neural network and other internet buzzwords. Holy crap. Trying to install TensorFlow so it can use my GPU instead of my CPU. Every article is written and I'm just like, was this just an engineer writing it to another engineer? Like, what the hell?
Yes.
What does this mean? Like, you have links, but I don't know what any of this means. Finally, I found a YouTube video and the guy's like, here's what you do. I was like, that's it? Relatively easy. Problem is I had to get rid of my NVIDIA Game Ready driver and swap it for the Studio driver. But I checked the frame rates and I've lost 4 or 5 frames per second. So technically it's worse, but when you're pushing over 100 frames per second, it's not really noticeable. Yeah. 30 frames, that would be a different story.
I get 2 frames a second. Oh, God.
Yeah, so far, the original predictions were kind of not bad, but not great. Because congratulations
my decaf coffee.
Yes.
Not good.
Congratulations to Kristen Tatar for winning it.
Yes, Tatar sauce.
Yes. The program had her predicted, depending on which variables I changed, and I was trying to tweak it, had her between like second and third. Never had her winning it for some reason. But I'm working on weighting past events and whatnot. I'd had Paige Pierce winning, who she did not do well. And Katrina Allen didn't do great either, so I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But Waco is also a hard one to predict.
What's the matter with these ladies?
I know.
Come on now.
And the reason why I'm not working on the men's side of this is because with 50-something women in the field, it takes 45 minutes to go through 10,000 iterations per person.
Oh,
the men
nice.
have like 130 people. So 45 minutes is a long time to wait, but tripling that, pushing 2 hours, over 2 hours. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that and then hope that those variables are close enough when I get to the men so that it's only minor adjustments. Yeah. So there's the update with that.
Well, at that point, that's one of those, you let it run when you go to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning and go, what's going on over there?
Yep.
It's like doing anything with my 3D printer that takes more than like a couple hours. I'm just like, all right, I'll wake up in the morning and see if it finished or if it's a giant spoolie mess of
so
exploded
working on
plastic.
the prediction stuff here. When I get that kind of squared away, then work on the men's side, and basically, like you said, I'm gonna hit go and go to bed, wake up, see how it went, and then hit go when I go to work and come home and see how that went. And it's gonna take me like 3 weeks to get it all dialed in because I'm only gonna be able to run 2 variations a day.
Well, no. That's when you go ahead and you install the remote software, so that way
I already have
before
that.
you have to go on. Well, I meant like and access it from work, and you
I already do that sometimes.
Okay, it finished. Okay, well then yes, it's gonna take you 3 weeks.
It's still gonna take me.
Yeah,
it's still gonna take me a little bit because, I mean, it's gonna be time. Like that's the hardest part. Yay, time. Yep. Yay, nerdy things. I'm using a... I forget. It's a neural network. I forget which one.
So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you've got your neural network thing, I was like, oh, wait, here's a perfect place to transition to a topic. But speaking of rankings and tourneys...
Yeah.
You just got randomly seated for a local.
Local match play tournament. It's a 64-person tournament. I think the first lady signed up this year.
Ooh.
And there are 2 children in this tournament too. I think the one kid is a MJ12 world champion. And the other kid is like right there.
Because why not?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that we I
legitimately could lose to a 12-year-old. He might be 13.
I was going to say, need to get our branding in their hands so that way they can throw the gnarly ball crusher and the gnarly ball ripper to victory. Okay.
It's just...
I'll have to get on that.
Yeah. I think they got placed on the other side. I can't remember. At the time of recording, there hasn't been a bracket posted that I know of. It was all done on a live stream on Facebook, and most of the rounds will be live streamed through Facebook, but we shall see. I might try to get someone to do it on the Joe's Disc Golf YouTube channel. We'll see. Yeah.
Is there other window liquor in the tourney, or is he available to cameraman?
He might be the caddy, because he caddied me really well at the Three Rivers Open. So I might, even if I don't care if he is just there to tell me to not be stupid, and I carry my bag the whole time. That's fine. Like if that's one of his conditions, that's fine. He was generous enough to carry the bag at Tillman, which is a not too hilly course, but not too flat either. So, yeah,
I would posit mayhaps you dare to be stupid. Actually,
let me put down this chainsaw and listen to you. Just going to throw this out there, everybody. You should watch Weird, the Al Yankovic story on Roku. It's free and freaking hilarious. Daniel Radcliffe does a great job.
It is on my list of things to watch. And unfortunately, while I was ill, if I looked at a screen for any length of time, like more than 5 minutes, I just had like splitting migraines. So I did not get any watching done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays Dr. Demento, it's Dwight from The Office. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Rainn Wilson?
Yes. He does a really good job. They show pictures kind of at the end where like it's old pictures of actually Dr. Demento and Weird Al back in the day. And you look at of Dr. Demento and Rainn and you're just like, whoa, that is scary close. And it's not just like the beard and the hat and the stuff like that. Like his facial structure looks shockingly close.
I'm about to look that up. But you know what? I'll do that after the podcast. Because
so yeah, we've got the match play going on. And I like match play because at most you can only lose 1 point or stroke to a person on a hole. If you blow up and, technically you throw like a triple bogey, it's 1 stroke. Not a big deal. And for someone who generally plays really aggressive and has a hard time not playing aggressive, match play is awesome. Match play is my thing.
Well, I mean, it seems like match play it's
also different.
Favors aggression.
Yeah, it does, because you're not really punished. I mean, you can be. Obviously, if you're the second person off the tee and you see the other guy shanked it, you're like, yeah, I don't need to go that hard now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's part of the strategy anyway. Is like even on a normal non-match play, if you see that whomever teed off and they went like way out of line, you're like, okay, as long as I play conservatively,
as long as I don't do that, we'll be good.
Yeah,
don't shank it, fine. Damn it.
You threw it backwards, and that goose took it away.
Yeah.
You're like, yep.
And he dropped it by the hole for some reason. Just good job, Sparky. Good job.
You throw it to your caddy, who happens to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yes.
He just alley-oops it for you.
Yep. Oh, man.
Just to reference last week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
See
Definitely.
if any of our longtime listeners are paying attention.
Yeah.
Joe's dying.
A little bit.
Joe's back.
A little bit. Just had to clear the throat there. This mute button is awesome. I highly recommend the Vocaster 1 from Focusrite. They make some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, Focusrite's pretty good.
Yep. They put a lot of engineering into the 4 presets, and the one that is labeled warm is so much better than what I tried to do on my own with OBS and the Reaper plugins. Just having an actual audio engineer is amazing.
What?
Nah. Shout out to Gain Stage, who listens on Friday nights, who is a DJ and audio professional, audio engineer.
Nice.
Yep. When he said it sounded good, I was like, yeah.
Sweet.
If it sounds good over YouTube compression, I'm impressed. But
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when does the first match kick off?
I don't. So the last 2 years, and I don't see why it would be any different. I just kind of jumped around. There wasn't one single post. I'll have to probably watch the first 10 minutes. I just jumped around to find my name and who I was playing. But the last 2 years it's been run, you get 2 weeks for the first match. After that, it's 1 week. But just trying to get things all squared away and, make sure that there's going to be 32 matches played. Just trying to make sure that everybody finds a time on the course.
Yeah.
After that, it gets a lot simpler, I guess. I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it. It's been a ton of fun playing. Probably should go back to find out, but I'm pretty sure I have the second most wins, and I'm pretty sure I'm number one in playoff holes. Because for whatever reason, I can be up by like 5 and then shoot myself in the foot and then play another 5. Anywhere from like my shortest playoff was 1 hole. My longest was like another 7. After playing 18. Like,
Nice.
Yeah. It is crazy.
So how are you feeling about the your first matchup? Have you faced this individual?
I don't know
before,
this person
or?
off the top of my head.
Oh.
They're saying the name, and unfortunately, so this was a Facebook Live thing. I watched it after the fact, and they had the Facebook closed captioning. So I didn't recognize the name, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because the auto closed captioning from Facebook, YouTube, whoever, it's much better than it was even a year ago. But it struggles with names. It struggles hard with names. There are a few where I was just like, wow, he said the name 3 times, first and last name, and first names are easy. It was like a John or a Pat or a Steve or something like easy. Last name, not as common. Spelled it 3 different ways that were phonetically pretty much right. Where I was like, I know that guy. This other one, I'm like, I don't know this person, I don't think. Which could be fun.
Meet someone new from the club.
Yep. Or the surrounding area.
Or you wind up being like, oh, wait, that's your real name? I've only known you as, like, Skippy.
Yep. Yeah.
Or Big Ralph. Or
yeah,
Big Al.
There are plenty of people that are like that, where I'm just like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm playing with this guy. They're like, that's me. I was like, that's your name? Oh, okay. Dig it.
I've only known you as Snuffleupagus, not Ronald Malskevich. You're like... No wonder everyone just calls you Snuffleupagus, because you don't exist. What is that name?
Exactly. So, like, I don't know, generally strategy for match play, I just try to play aggressive. I don't know. That's kind of seems to be the best way to go.
So are you hoping to get into the playoffs again this year, or are you like, whatever happens, happens?
I'd rather win everything in regulation. But no, you mean like down to the Final Four and that kind of stuff again?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
I would like
the end
to.
Of the bracket.
I mean, I said it on my podcast. I don't like to just, when it's a tournament type situation, I want to go out there and win. Like,
well, yeah.
So I'd like to finally make it to the damn championship. 2 years in a row.
You have
bridesmaid.
Yep. I was going to say, you have always been right there. Just
story of my athletic career. It's just right there. Just so close.
He's still here. He just didn't win.
Yep.
But why is he still here? Because he's still here.
Because, yeah. I mean, I do have...
He just showed up again.
I have won, like in team sports, I've won. In individual sports, not so much. But I also grew up playing team sports, baseball, football, ultimate frisbee, basketball, there's not like
Yep.
you can have good individual players, but if the other 4 people out there aren't competent, that's me. I'm just competent in some of those sports. Some of those sports I'm good. Some of those sports like basketball, they're like, I'm just like, yeah, I dribble ball and then I shoot ball and I don't walk with ball. That's it.
Well, I'm glad you don't walk with ball. Good job.
Yep. That's about it.
No. But that's why you don't play for the NBA, because
I'm
they
too short.
mostly walk with ball.
Yeah. That's a whole different conversation there. But yeah, I'm hoping to make it further. I'm hoping. I'd like to make it at least to that far. It'll be fun. I'll have to look. I don't remember everyone who's on my half of the bracket, the half I'm on, so we'll see. I know there's like 1 or 2 people on my side that I know would be tough if I face them. But who knows? There are times where I just look back and just go, oh yeah, I know I'm going to face this person next round or in 2 rounds or whatever. And then it's like they lose. I'm like, how did they lose? No offense to the person who beat them kind of thing, but it's just like, it's match play. It's not normal stroke play.
But just knowing how, like, certain persons play, you're like, oh man, they're really good.
Yeah.
And you're just surprised when they have the off day, and you're like, oh, ooh, okay.
Yeah, that happened.
But I mean, that's been the inverse for you, which is no one expects you to keep getting
Yeah.
to the Final Four.
The first year they're like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I was legit. It was awesome because they did like pre-Final Four interviews, like right before, because they had both groups, all 4 of us tee off at the same time play the same course, and they're just like, and here's the 4th guy. We don't know the shit about him. Who are you, Joe?
Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I don't know.
Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
I don't know. But yeah, it was a good time. I still remember, and I regret my answer for this. They asked who your favorite pro disc golfer was, and I said at the time it was Paul Ulibarri, which he's awesome. He hasn't been as good recently.
I was like, hold on. Can you please repeat that man's last name?
Ulibarri, Ulibarri.
That is amazing. That is an amazing last name.
It is. He hasn't been doing so well this year. But I said that, and then afterwards, someone's like, you should have said Jason. That was the guy I was playing, and he's a local pro. I was like, damn it. I want to change my answer. Teacher, can I change my answer?
Here's 5.
Yeah.
Just let's reshoot the footage. You just cut this in.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, damn it. That would have been so good. Because that year, I think I was the only non-pro in the Final Four. This last year, I think it was me and one other guy. I know one of the guys plays pro occasionally, but I don't know if he's taking cash. So you can play pro, but not take cash and still be considered AM.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't make the rules.
You know what? I just drink here.
Yep.
My shitty decaf.
So, yeah, but it was fun. It's been a blast going out there playing and just like having fun out there. Like, I both years, my best 2 tournaments or 2 matches were at the same course at PFW, playing PFW Gold. One of them, I felt bad for the guy a little bit because he wasn't necessarily he was within half hour, 45 minutes. He's like, hey, we're going to play this one. We're going to play PFW. We'll play Golds. And they're in B position. And he's like, does that sound good to you? I was like, that sounds great. But I was like, yeah, I guess it'll be fine. He didn't know I was mostly a forehand dominant player. And Gold to B is majority forehand. So I was just like, yeah, let's, sure. Yeah.
Well, because that's what I was going to ask. Is there any rule changes this year, like in terms of who's selecting course,
So the
configuration, all that?
better seed, it's going to be like last year. The better seed is going to pick the course, and the worst seed, I always mix it up. That's why I'm saying better. So higher seed, like the lower number, closer to number 1, picks the course. Closer to number 64, picks the OB. So generally, everybody does sign OB, so whatever's written on the sign. Because the way most of the courses are, it's too hard without going out and painting lines or doing something like that. But one thing a lot of people did last year was normally when you go OB, you take it wherever it went out. So what a lot of people have done is stroke and distance. So you take it from your previous lie with that stroke.
Oh.
Yeah. So that makes it a lot more challenging. Fortunately, in all the matches I've played in, that has not been a factor. Because either the course is not a big deal, like there's not a lot of OB, and when there is OB, it's like really hard to go OB. Or I think once or twice, like I might have gone OB, but I was in such a bad spot, I was like, I concede the hole. You take it. It's not like playing this is only going to make me mad. And that's one of the other nice things about match play is you can concede the hole, and I can just stop the bleeding rather than having to play it out and just go, all right. And then it carries into the next hole. And the next one is like, no, I'm done. No.
Yeah.
I quit. Next.
Yep.
But those are those rules.
Right.
I think, I don't think there are any major changes that I know of. Like I said, I have to go back and watch. It was a half hour long. The first 10 to 15 minutes were him talking about some of the rules and some of the changes, but I was also over at my in-laws for family dinner on Sunday night. So I was they were watching the Purdue Penn State game, and I was watching disc golf. To be fair, my brother-in-law just graduated from Purdue last year, so he's excited.
Yeah.
Big Ten champions.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Yay.
Oh, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
Well, good luck to if your opponent is like, hey, man, I listened to your podcast and shit.
Damn it.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
And
I do really bad at PFW golds to be. I do really bad at show.
Yep. I was thinking, depending on if you get any footage from, or even if it's like Facebook Live.
Yep.
I thought it might be interesting for the other window licker and us to maybe break down some
commentate.
And commentate.
And this
maybe
is where he put his head firmly up his ass.
A joint would have really helped him here. He would have relaxed.
Yep.
And
you see those shrooms over on the side
overcompensating.
right there? Those are the ones you can eat. He should have had a few of those.
Busted out his little Instapot, sauteed him up with some butter.
Yep. There we go. I got, Boy Scout camp stove. We'll be good.
Hell yeah.
We'll be good.
There we go. Well, it'll be fun to hear both some local, stuff from you, and also kind of compare that to what's going on in the
there'd be
the wider world.
Two vastly different levels of play.
Yes. And unfortunately, no Joe Mez coverage for you.
Maybe some Joe Mama coverage, but start a competitor. Joe Mama disc golf. If it isn't already a thing.
Okay, here's the logo. The logo is a really, really big lady in a yellow dress. So that way... Joe Bubba's so fat when she walks down the street, kids think she's the school bus.
Oh man.
I get paid for my jokes here.
Yep. Having fun with these sound effects. I'm trying not to use them too much.
Oh, here's another good but not Joe Mama related joke.
Yes.
Have I ever told you about the 3 holes in the ground?
No.
Well.
It also played the weird Windows noise.
It did.
Okay.
I'll see myself out now.
I don't know why it did that.
But it worked.
It did. I don't know. Windows, I love you, but sometimes I hate you.
So, I mean, we've got our 2 smaller topics. Yeah, I guess we'll touch base on
50 minutes in and we're done bantering.
No, we covered your tournament. Yeah. There was actual disc golf talk.
Yeah.
Now
It'll
shut
be
up.
a good time.
This is just the non-local disc golf, where it'll be interesting to see more FPO stuff.
Yep.
Brought to light because of Jomez.
I think that's going to be the single biggest factor to get the women's side of the sport to grow, because everybody loves watching Jomez. And they're the gold standard. And nothing against Ace Run, Gatekeeper, GK Pro. Jomez just has that it factor. Whatever. I think it's a combination of the graphics, the video quality. I think they're all parody. It's all post-produced, so it's not those good post-produced cameras are cheap relative to a broadcast camera.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I think those are parody. I think the commentators that they have are...
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even from the live stuff, I think this will just help the sport in general, not even just the FPO side.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jomez has been around for years.
Well, yeah. But what I'm more so saying, like, in terms of helping to grow the sport, especially in this day and age where having more female and also, if at all possible, more diverse, faces shown up.
Yep.
Jomez is going to be able to hit that algorithm a lot better than like any of the live feed stuff from Disc Golf Network or anything like that.
Well, and it's far more digestible. You get, lead card coverage of FPO. 9 holes is about 45 minutes is what they shoot for. So you're looking at an hour and a half investment times 3 or 4 rounds, depending on the tournament. So like 6-ish hours, give or take, versus a live stream
you can watch on your schedule.
Yeah, a live stream that is 6 hours for FPO or MPO. Yeah. You just have to have time. Like most of the time, I throw it on in the background till something cool happens.
Oh yeah, I think that's most of us with most
live sports.
Most sports
most day to day
golf or disc golf. Because football, if you walk away,
something's going to happen.
You will most likely miss something.
It's something. I'd say it's like baseball,
but
where you throw it on in the background, you're listening to it, and then something cool happened. I'm going to go run back quick and watch the replay. That's kind of how I,
Or you're listening and you're like, oh, hey, hold on. Like, I can hear the pitch counts, like, getting up. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to
that'll be nice.
That and Kristen Tatar just crushing it. They mentioned that the last time she hasn't finished on the podium was, I think they said Worlds 2021. Whoa. So I forget when Worlds was. It's usually in like September, August, somewhere in there. And so every tournament she was in, except the one where she got hurt and DNF'd, which I don't count, and I think that's appropriate. She has been at least 3rd place or better. I mean, she had to fight hard to win it. She was down 4 strokes with 4 to play and won it. It helps that the girl in first kind of like made some errors, but still have to capitalize.
But, Yep.
Yeah, but either way, it was going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, well, she's getting second. That podium run is still going. Like, it's really damn impressive. Like, she's so good.
And you can tell I'm hungry because I was like, we could have a half in the bag disc golf. Really great drawing for a t-shirt that's just Christian Tatar, and it's just like a little tater tot with a ponytail and a disc.
Oh God. You earned that one.
I sure did.
Yeah. Oh.
It is impressive. And then I'm also hungry, and I was like, Kristen Tatar.
Yeah. Oh man.
And now you know that someone's going to make that shirt, and I'm going to be really disappointed that I'm not good at art.
Yeah, I know. Same here. I've tried, and it's just not pretty. It's not pretty.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
For neither of us.
Yeah.
So then I guess we'll hit on our last other world topic and then wrap up for the evening.
Yep.
But another thing that it's one of those, it's either going to be good or bad for the sport, depending on exactly how things play out. But dynamic discs getting bought up.
Yep.
And so
I think it's going to be a good thing. It's the same company that bought Latitude 64 a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe 2 years. I forget the timeline exactly. But with that money that they got in, they bought a crap load of new machines and have been coming out. That's when they've really ramped up the production of their Royal line, which is a brand new line with really premium plastic, super nice stuff. And I think that's going to be what's going to happen here, because the company had mentioned that they want to get U.S. manufacturing, because right now everything's made in Sweden and shipped over, which isn't great. I mean, it works well enough, but if you really want to take the next step to be like one of the big time, you need molding here. You need injection molding, which means you need money. So, yep.
I'm honestly surprised that they're not trying to have it just manufactured in China like everything else. But again, you have to ship it.
You got to ship it. Yep. And the biggest complaint most of the pros here have, like, the high-profile one was Paige Shue leaving, saying one of her big frustrations was when she needed to get discs, they had to be shipped here if they didn't have something on hand. If for whatever reason she wanted a very specific whatever in specific plastic, it would have to get shipped and hope that they had some made already. And then if not, wait for production time, and then, Yep.
Well, it's one of those things where that's the hope, is that they're going to use the money wisely and be able to invest.
It sounds like it.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where if all of a sudden stuff starts drying up and then quality suffers because blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's a sign that the industry is maturing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think
if there's consolidation.
Yeah. And that was inevitable. There are a ton of little companies, and it was just going to be a matter of time before who was going to start buying who, or at least attempting to buy who. And I don't know. I think it's a good thing, like I said, because it's the same company that has been working with Latitude and bought them. It should be a good thing. And from what I understand, there were other offers for Latitude 64 that were much higher values than what the company they ended up going with. But after the guy who owned, or whoever all owned Latitude, didn't agree with what their philosophy and their outlook was, and so they went with the less money, but they aligned much better. So hopefully that means like they're actually in it to grow disc golf.
In
it to grow the company in disc golf,
Yeah.
more money.
By and growing themselves,
Yes.
helping the sport to also flourish.
And I guess the company so they made another company that owns them all, and it's all whatever. I don't understand everything. That's House of Discs. The actual venture capital company apparently owns a whole bunch of other like niche sports companies that whatever. So they are, and it sounds like with them, they've done good things in helping those companies flourish in whatever niche. Like, sounds like disc golf is the biggest niche sport that they're in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but hopefully it's good, and hopefully, they don't wind up being like, wow, something else is failing, so let's gut the thing that was working, because I know that unfortunately that is a thing that will happen with venture capitalist groups.
Some people will end up losing their jobs because they mentioned in it, because they've consolidated now 4 companies. Latitude, Dynamic Discs, Westside, and Castoplast. And it wasn't directly mentioned, but they had said, like, if Castoplast needs some marketing thing done up, it's stupid to have Castoplast marketing, Dynamic Disc marketing, Latitude marketing, Westside marketing, when we could have one marketing team. So that was just one.
Yes and no, because
I think they're going to consolidate the redundant positions. Like, obviously, people will be in charge of their company or whatever, but like a generic artist, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be bad.
I mean, that's yeah.
I feel bad.
I mean, unfortunately, that's the inevitable part about that.
But that's any consolidation.
But it's still one of those things where I always look at the consolidations. I'm like, it's literally just a money thing. Whereas it's like, so let's just continue on the example of marketing, right? Each brand, even though each is now owned by a single entity, if you want the brands to succeed, then they have to continue being their own brand, which means that Westside Discs may not have the same marketing strategies and or letterheads.
Westside's a weird one though, because Westside is jointly owned previous to this by Latitude and Dynamic. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm more so saying, like, in terms of how branding should go, it's just like
it's going to be different.
Let them be different. They can't be all come out of one place, because to borrow some jokes from 30 Rock, you've got Comcast, who now owns GE, and GE microwave division now is in television, and you're like, the marketing doesn't make sense to come from
it's just
GE,
I guess, because it's
for Comcast products.
It's all disc golf, and all these people are and I'll be curious. I mean, who knows how many people they have there? It might be like a 2-man department at Castoplast. I don't know. They're not huge, so we'll see.
It's just one of those things where I'm always like, they'll do it. They'll consolidate. It's a money thing. And
I mean, accounting would be one of those that would definitely get consolidated.
Oh, well,
because that's easy. I mean, you'll still
it's just numbers.
You'll still have I think Westside is based out of the U.S., so you have like Westside Dynamic consolidated, and then you'll have Latitude and Castoplast because they're in Europe, and good God, trying to figure out that would be.
Oh yeah, no, that's way more difficult.
Yeah,
you have your local regionals.
Yep.
And then you have one, department for
the
whole thing.
You're all in this
department. Need the whole thing, but
yeah. It's kind of like how I'm in the sports medicine department, which falls under the orthopedic department, which falls under the hospital.
Yeah, kind of
essentially.
I work for the hospital. Wait, don't you go to a high school?
Yes.
But I'm contracted through.
You see that big hospital name right there? That's the one who signs my paycheck. And that's all that I care. I love the high school I'm at, but hospital says jump. I say, okay, where?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Well, yeah.
You
still have to do your job that you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Back. Let's bring it back here. Let's bring it back. I love my job.
So
to anybody who's listening.
That's a lie. He's going to murder you all.
No.
Run away.
No.
Joe's got a gun.
I thought it was Jamie.
I know. I altered the words so that way we could end the podcast on a bright and fluffy note.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah.
Tuning in as we weaved our way and wobbled eventually
Weeble
to
wobbles.
disc golf.
We never fell over, though.
And we send our love to RJ, who I'm sure at this point is just like, oh, God.
Yes.
Those jokes were awful.
Yep.
I need to go home.
Yep.
And then we'll, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
There's the crickets.
Yep. Well, that goes for a really long time.
Yeah, it really does.
It's
I've
looped.
been me.
I didn't know that was an option. Still learning. Hey, none of the other sound effects that I have played so far tonight are looped. So,
It's probably good because it'd be very confusing if it was just constantly going. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. And if it was the bleep out button, the entire podcast would just be. Anyway,
it's dead.
I've been
He's dead,
me,
Jim.
Joe's been Joe. You've all been you. And this podcast is dead.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Podcast out. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.